Hello everyone, welcome to Calling Glass, welcome to the pub, welcome to the club. My name is Alvaro, and today in the podcast I'm talking about my experience watching the Eurobasket live. Let's see. Hello everyone, welcome back to the pod. Today, even though the Eurobasket finished a couple of weeks ago, I still want to talk about how was my experience of watching the Eurobasket live in person, both in Katowice, one of the first phases stadiums, let's say, and in Riga, the final phase. I was there until the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. I didn't stay there. I don't think it was worth it because there was like one day in between each games. Top 16 was 2 days in a row, then a break, and then quarterfinals 2 days in a row, and then a break, and then semifinals, a break, and a finals. So that's why I only stayed until quarterfinals. Anyways, I just want to talk about it, my experience from there, what I saw, what I think about players now that I watch them live, because it's a bit different what you watch in TV versus watching it live. And my first comment that I want to make is that, in my opinion, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the most impressive basketball player that I have seen live and from close, let's say. In this tournament, I also have seen Luka, Jokic, Sengun, etc. But for me, Giannis is something different. He looks like a god amongst humans. It's really ridiculous because you see, Jokic is the biggest, of course. And, well, I will talk about Jokic later. But Giannis, when you see him, is like towering over his teammates. So he's taller than everyone else in the court, or that everyone is from his team. But he's also faster. He's also more muscular. His arms are super defined. He's super defined in general, super athletic, faster, stronger, and it really looks like a god playing against humans. That's the impression that he gives, at least in FIBA basketball. It's so easy for him to just dunk, and it really doesn't feel fair, because you see other players that are maybe bigger and stronger, but they don't have this look of being more muscular or things like that. But Giannis is really, really, really impressive to watch him live. He just dribbles twice and he can run the full court and dunk it, and it's just like, it's something else. I haven't seen anything like that in my life. Now, having said that, one thing is who's the most impressive player, and one thing who is the best player. And I still think that the best player in the world right now is Nikola Jokic. And here is what I have to say about that. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is a better floor racer, which that means that if you put Giannis in a bad team, that team is going to win games anyways, because Giannis is a machine. But I believe that Jokic is a better roof racer, which that means that he's going to make, if he has good teammates around him, he's going to make them really, really great. And with a good team, he can achieve fantastic things. I feel like Giannis' roof of how much he can accomplish due to his way that he plays offense is a bit capped, let's say. But at the same time, what seen in FIBA, I feel like Giannis is a better player in FIBA than Jokic is. And it's not, well, the reason is that the teammates that each one has, they're not as good. So for Jokic really to be at his best, he needs actually kind of good teammates. Not amazing, but he needs people who can make shots, who can play it off him, and he can pass the ball. He's a great passer. In the other hand, Giannis with the Greek team, which is not amazing, he can really push them and pull them. He can do something, let's say. And I feel like Giannis is a better player with Greece than Jokic is with Serbia. And both of them, I feel like they struggle more against FIBA rules because of the 3 defensive zone defense, let's say, and teams can be closer in the paint and they can clog the paint, and for Giannis, he cannot penetrate and attack, and Jokic, he cannot really attack one-on-one and pass the ball to the cats because there is less space. But I think still in the world or in the NBA, Jokic is better than Giannis, clearly. But I think that if we talk about FIBA and about Giannis with Greece and Jokic with Serbia, I think Giannis is a better performer, let's say better player with Greece than Jokic is with Serbia. That's it. Next topic, following this, I was talking about Giannis Jokic. I have noticed something. I mean, it's obvious maybe, but to me, in FIBA at least, in this Eurobasket, it was very clearly that the best player in each team was the most physically dominant player. That's it. We have the biggest and strongest in Serbia, Jokic, biggest, stronger, and faster, Giannis. We have also with Finland, we had Markkanen, we had Sengun with Turkey. Like the biggest guy, or maybe not only biggest in height, but like muscularly in general, that was the best player in each team. And I know that's not news in basketball. You know, of course, the biggest guy is the best one. But at least in the NBA, you see more guards playing great and carrying their team. In this Eurobasket, it was not the case. Except Schroeder, there was no other guards that were really pushing much for their team. Schroeder, by the way, which in my opinion is not the best on his team. Wagner is the best on his team, and he's also the most athletically gifted guy for Germany. Same also, for example, with even Deni Avdija from Israel. Yeah, he's maybe not the tallest in the team, but his height plus athletic ability make him the most dominant player in his team. So it was like that all over around. Even with Nurkic, with the guys from Georgia, they were the biggest guys in Georgia, like Mamu and Shengelia. The only exception might be Luka, but Luka is kind of big, not that big, but also looking a bit skinnier. But he was making a lot of threes, so that's why he was good. But yeah, overall, my conclusion would be like, even though that basketball, and that in basketball that is out of technique, individual technique, at the end it's a sport, and the sports are about body movement, and your athletic ability plays a huge factor. Speed, strength, and in basketball, height. And that's really, even though you can be the most skilled guy in the court, if you have not speed, strength, or height, you're gonna struggle, and you need to be like tremendously talented. And at the end, the best players in the world are always gonna have a combination of speed, strength, and height. That's it. Especially height in basketball. Like, this sounds a bit stupid to say, but it was clear who was the best player in each team. Like, there were there was the rest of the teammates, and then it was Markkanen above everyone, Giannis above everyone, Jokic above everyone, Sengun maybe not above anyone, almost above anyone, but also physically imponent, like the same thing. Avdija, he was definitely, you could see that he was the most athletic guy in the court and bigger, so yeah, maybe it's a bit, I don't know. I just thought like, yeah, you can be very good and stuff. No, you need to be very athletic to be a good basketball player. And there is like weird exceptions, like Luka, sure, he's still tall, or like other players in our team, like Stephen Curry or any, guards. But those are really rare cases, and you don't see them that much in Eurobasket. Next topic that I want to address is actually the comments that Alperen Sengun made after the semifinals against Greece, which was all over the news, everywhere in the social media. He said that Giannis is not a great passer. I want to address this because I think there is a lack of context, huge one, and people are making assumptions of what he said, and like he's like trying to criticize Giannis, and in my opinion, that's not what it was. He was asked just after the game about the game plan that Turkey did against Giannis, and he said that they tried to like put a guy on him and then help because Giannis is not a great passer. I don't know where the controversy is, because I agree, Giannis is a good passer, but he's not a great passer, and he's a better scorer than he's a passer. So that was the game plan. Sengun says he's an amazing player, he's one of the best players. He keeps saying that, and then he says, but he's not a great passer. And I agree, like he's not a great passer. If you double Jokic is a great passer. So he was just explaining what was the game plan. The game plan was to double or like help and clog the paint and make Giannis pass, because he's not great at that. He's great at scoring one-on-one. He's great at attacking the rim, but he's not great at passing. He's good at passing, but not great. So they left him they chose the less skilled part of Giannis' offense, which is not good. He's a good passer. He's like 6 assists, but he's not doing 12 assists. So I think, to me, I don't know where the controversy is. If you see the full clip, he actually talks so highly about Giannis, saying that he's amazing. And he just points out that the strategy, he doesn't say that because he wants to. He's like, ask what was the strategy. And the strategy was like, make him pass the ball because he's not great. Maybe he should have said that the strategy was to make him pass, and that's it. He could have said that. But he added, for more context and for more knowledge to the public, which I think is good, that they chose to double because he's not great at passing the ball. And I agree with that fact. And I don't think he was a critique for Giannis. I don't take it as that. And the last topic I want to address is the tournament lineups. They were the lineup, like the best lineup and the second best lineup of the tournament. And I don't agree with it. I think this guy on my right, Markkanen, is missing it because you have, in the first lineup, it was Schroeder, MVP of the tournament, Franz Wagner, Giannis, third place, Sengun, second place, and then Luka, quarterfinals. If you put both Schroeder and Wagner, it's because you are really valuing winning games and advancing into rounds because they both won, so you put two of them. Then why are you putting Luka if he only reached the quarterfinals instead of putting Markkanen, who actually reached semifinals and he got fourth place? Because Markkanen actually had better numbers than Franz and Schroeder. So if you go by wins, he should be there above Luka. If you go by numbers, I agree, Luka should be there. He actually should be the MVP because Luka had the best numbers, even though he fell short in the quarterfinals. But then Markkanen should be both above Schroeder and Wagner. Like either way, I don't understand why Markkanen is not in the lineup. And also, just to make it clear, like Finland, he was clearly the best guy from Finland. Like it was not like it was debatable, who was the best or he was playing great, but no, he was clearly the best guy from Finland, and it was thanks to him that they made the semifinals and they almost get the third position. So I don't understand. It is true that I saw Markkanen decline a bit once the games got tougher and the defense got tougher, more difficult. Yes, but still, he had great numbers and he got fourth. And I don't understand what is the logic behind it because, but I think he should have been there. First lineup. I'm not saying that Luka shouldn't, but if we're going by games and wins and advancing rounds, it's Luka out, Markkanen in. If we go by numbers, it's Markkanen in and either Schroeder or Wagner out. That's it. Last thing that I want to mention, I want to talk about Slim Jesus, Mika Murinen, which I thought he was a bit hyped. I thought Murinen would be cocky, actually, because he's like playing in the United States. He left Finland to play high school in the United States. He's praised there because he's treated, his nickname is Slim Jesus. He has like tattooed that, and he looks like a bit full of himself, but I have to say that that's only looks. Playing for Finland, he really was serious playing. Like on the court, I didn't see anything of that. I actually thought they could have used him more in Finland because he was very serious playing. He only took shots that he needed to take. He was not grabbing the ball and shooting every time. He was playing the system, and I think he was doing a great job. It's true that in defense, I think he's not used to playing defense because in American high school, he's probably not playing defense because he's a bit lost sometimes. Like he gets out of back cuts and like issues that are easy to solve because it's just concentration. But I was positively surprised by his seriousness or matureness in the way he plays for being 17. I was surprised by that. In this case, looks don't match exactly what I saw in the court, which is a great thing. Maybe it's because he was playing with other guys. Maybe it's because he had a guy who was actually better than him in Markkanen, but I don't know why, but good and props to him. So I have high expectations now of Mika Murinen for the future. Let's see. He needs to bulk up a bit physically, but he's looking really, really good for now. And I think that's all for today. I just wanted to do a recap of the Eurobasket. Soon the NBA is coming, and I will start to do a weekly recap of the NBA, which I'm excited about. But for now, today was Eurobasket, and that's all for today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you subscribe, criticize, ask questions, do whatever you want. And that's all for today. See you. Bye. Bye bye.